Welcome back to Garden Talk, brought to you by the Penn State Erie County Extension Master Gardeners. I'm your co-host for today, Mike Bailey, along with Ellen DePlacido. Ellen, good morning.
Good morning, Mike.
And what are we going to talk about today?
Well, we're going to talk about hanging baskets. It's that time of year.
Oh, it's that time of year, yes. We always try to sneak this in right before Mother's Day because those hanging baskets make wonderful gifts for Mother's Day. And this seems to be the time of the year when most of the garden centers just have a flurry of hanging baskets out there, and they're so beautiful.
They are.
You know,
when you buy them.
When you buy them, you know, and that's where we're going when you buy them. Okay,
right.
Okay, because you got to care for them. Okay, so what should your goal be? You know, when you're kind of out there looking at all these nice baskets.
Well, I don't want to buy a basket that might last a week or two. I prefer to buy one that's going to look nice the entire growing season, but I don't want it to cause me a lot of extra work either because I don't have the time to do that. So I think one of the things we want to remember is that these plants look beautiful because they're a great size, but those containers are usually small. So you've got a lot of plants in a small container, which means that soil can get very warm and dry out quickly. So there are things that we have to remember to take care of those.
You're right. And I have always encouraged people to, do a little bit of planning. Okay. What are you going to do with this hanging basket? Okay. Where are you going to hang it? And what side of the house? Because obviously these are going outside. Is it a northeast, southwest exposure? What kind of exposure is it? Is it going to get a lot of heat? Okay, and is it going to get a lot of wind? So you got to take that into consideration. And what are the plant's requirements? Okay, you got to look at those tags on those things. Some plants do much better in the warmer, breezier climate, than some others. Some others kind of like a little bit more of a cooler environment, a little bit of shade. In fact, I actually move mine around a little bit during the course of the year. We probably have 3 or 4 hanging baskets at the house,
Yeah, you do. I've been there.
But we have a nice environment to hang them in also.
Right.
But I do have to care for them, okay? And we do move them around too because the sun exposure changes during the course of the season also. And I had a begonia hanging basket last year, which did beautiful all year long. My wife says, "You sure that isn't artificial?" I go, "No, it's just looking
she didn't
good."
Trust you, huh? Okay.
we're taking good care of it. That's why it looks so
Okay.
nice.
Okay.
So, what about that care of the basket?
Well, I think one thing we want to remember is that we need to take care of those every day. So if you're going away, let's say you're going to take a vacation or something like that, do you really have somebody there that can take care of that plant while you're gone? Because if you don't, you probably won't have that plant when you come home. So make sure that you have somebody around that if you're not available that can help you take care of that plant.
Yeah, good point.
It would probably need to be watered almost daily, depending on what the weather's like. You want to check its weight and then water accordingly to that. But there is a drip line on the planter that you want to take a look at. And remember, rain doesn't count because the rain's just going to wash out. It's not going to help keep those roots moist or that soil moist, so you need to water it. Don't depend on the rain.
You're right. And I always thought that, all that plant material, in that hanging basket, it really kind of acts like an umbrella almost.
Yeah.
And it sheds the water off to the side.
Right. That's a good point.
And it doesn't drop down into the plant very much at all. So you actually got to put the water at the base of the plant, to make sure you get it in there. Sure. And you're right, you got to get used to that weight. I water mine on the basis of weight. Okay. Because I can come around and lift up the bottom. Okay, feel heavy today, don't need the water. It's light today. Okay, I need the water. Oh, it's really light. Okay, I missed the day. Okay, and I actually take it down then and put it on the floor of the porch and in the shade, and kind of try to soak it pretty good, because it takes a while for that material that they have it planted in to reabsorb the water. So good point. What about fertilization?
Well, when we water or even when it rains, it kind of washes that fertilizer, those minerals out of the soil. So it would be a good idea to maybe fertilize every 3 weeks or so.
Yeah.
But you don't use full strength fertilizer, right?
No, I don't. I use half strength, and you're right.
Okay.
I do it every 3 or 4 weeks.
Okay.
And that seems to be just enough to keep the plant perky.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I mean, I don't want to create a lot of excessive growth. Okay. That's going to be a major problem,
Mm-hmm.
but I want it to keep it nice looking. So I do it that way. You know, and some of the times, you know, when the weather's changed or it gets windy, I actually go out there and I take them off, take them down, set them on the floor of the porch.
Protect them.
Okay. Until the storm's gone over,
Right.
and, you know, then I put them back up.
Right.
So you got to be careful of that.
Mm-hmm.
You got to take into consideration what's going to happen because these plants are up there hanging in the breeze.
Right.
And like you said earlier, you know, it's a big plant in a relatively smaller pot. So, you know, it needs some care. So, and if you take good care of them, they will last all season long.
Yep.
So, Ellen, I think we've used our time. So I think that was a good review.
Yeah.
So,
Thank you.
Thank you now. Bye-bye.
Bye.